Welcome back everyone. In this video we'll be solving a simple problem from the torsional vibrations of a single rotor system. Before that, let's revise quickly to the basic equations which are needed for this one. So we have seen the single rotor system where a rotor is connected to the shaft, and for this the natural frequency of the torsional vibrations we have seen, which is omega n equal to square root of q by I, where q is known as the torsional stiffness and q is equal to g into j divided by L, where all these properties are for the shaft material, where g is the rigidity modulus in SI units Newton per meter square, L is the length of the shaft measured in meter, and J is the polar moment of inertia, that is the measured in meter raised to 4 or mm raised to 4, which is actually pi d raised to 4 by 32 if d is the diameter of the shaft. And the inertia element is actually this rotating rotor, whose I, or the inertia property, which is the mass moment of inertia measured in kilogram meter per square units, is I. So that is actually coming in this equation. So using this one, you can evaluate the natural frequency of this torsional vibrations. And if you are considering the inertia effect of the mass of the shaft, that means this equation is based on the assumption that the shaft is massless. So if you are considering that inertia effect of mass of shaft also, then you have to consider the mass moment of inertia of the shaft also. Then that part will be coming like this. That means instead of I, it will be becoming I plus Is by 3, where Is is the mass moment of inertia of the shaft. And now let's see the problem which is coming from this torsional vibrations of a single rotor system. So here we have to determine the frequency of this torsional vibrations of this disc or the rotor, which is coming in this shaft whose both ends are fixed. So it is coming in the middle. That means rotor is coming in the middle, and the shaft diameter is 40 mm, that means 0.04 meter, and the disc has a mass of 96 kg and its radius of gyration is given. So this mass and radius of gyration data are required for evaluating the mass moment of inertia, and here we have to consider the modulus of rigidity as 85 gigapascal. So if you are analyzing the system, this is similar to a spring mass system, where a spring is coming like this and mass is at the center, and another spring is like this. That means if this is K2 and this is K1 and this mass is M, then here K1 and K2 springs are coming in this parallel combination, and you can find the resultant stiffness. Then you can convert the system like this one. So this is M, and this stiffness equivalent is equal to K1 plus K2 for this parallel connection. So in a similar way, we will be solving this torsional vibration question also. So here we are having the natural frequency of vibrations, this torsional vibrations omega n is equal to square root of q by I, where this q is actually the q equivalent. So here also the system is in a parallel connection. So if this shaft part is having a stiffness of torsional stiffness of q1 and this part is having a torsional stiffness of q2, then the equivalent stiffness, torsional stiffness, will be equal to q1 plus q2. So for each part of this shaft, that means the part having 1 meter length, that this part I am calling it as 1 and q1, and this is second part which is having torsional stiffness q2. The length only is different, diameters, property and all things are same. So you can find this q1 using this equation. Q is equal to gj by L. G is same, j is also same, divided by L is different, so this L1. And in a similar way, you can find q2, which is equal to g into j divided by L2. So here only the value of L1 and L2 are different. So this L1 is 1 meter and this L2 is 0.8 meter. And you can give this value of g as 85 gigapascals. So this is 85 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. And this j value in both equations of q1 and q2 is actually pi d raised to 4 by 32, where diameter is 0.04 meter or 40 mm. So this is pi by 32 into 0.04 raised to 4. This you will be getting in meter raised to 4, which value is 0.251 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter raised to 4 you will be getting. So j you have evaluated and g value you are having. Now you can evaluate this q1 and q2, and after finding this q1 and q2, you can add this to find the equivalent torsional stiffness. Then q equivalent you will be getting as 48,004 Newton meters, and the same can be used for evaluating the asked quantity, that is the natural frequency. So omega n equal to square root of Q equivalent divided by this mass moment of inertia. So now you are having Q equivalent. For evaluating the mass moment of inertia, that is the property of this rotor, they have given the mass of this disc or the rotor and the radius of gyration. So I is equal to m into k square, mass into square of this radius of gyration. Mass is 96 kilogram and radius of gyration is 0.4 meter. So it is 0.4 square. So you can find the inertia in unit of kilogram meter square, which will be getting us 15.36 kilogram meter square. So now you are having this Q equivalent value and the I value. So from this you can evaluate the natural frequency. So after solving, you will be getting in radian per second, which is 55.92 radians per second. Actually, the unit of torsional stiffness is Newton meter per radian. So anyway, the final answer for omega n is 55.92 radians per second. Hope you understood this simple problem. And in the next video, we will be analyzing the two rotor system and we'll be finding the natural frequency of those systems. So thanks for watching.